Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here for day 5 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. How are you today, my friends? Let me see if I am live on YouTube, which is where I hope I am. Let's see here. It looks like I am. Yay, very good, very good. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit, as is fairly of my situation here. Apparently, what I see on my device is different than what you see on your screen. So, what I see is relatively zoomed in. You are seeing kind of zoomed out. So let me see if I can bring it in just a little bit more there, maybe, and still be able to get a good screen here. Give it just a minute to do what it's doing. I'm not sure what it's doing. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay. I never know why it does, but let me just, there we go. Let's see how that looks, and I will leave it alone at that. All right, here we go. See if we can get it to focus in. Come on, YouTube. Oh, it's going to give me fits tonight. I can tell it already. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I'm so glad to have you. I hope that you all have been having a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. This is Monday, isn't it? I believe it is. So this is Make It Monday. All right, friends. Today is day 5 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. I am so excited to be here with you today, and let's hope that YouTube is going to focus in here a little bit for me so that maybe we can see this well. What I'm seeing up here is quite a bit different than what I'm seeing on my computer screen over there. So if someone's in here and wouldn't mind to comment and let me know how it's looking on your end. And of course, be sure to give me some thumbs up or some hearts if you like these videos, and share them with your friends, because sharing is caring, and crafting together is so much more fun than crafting alone. And we're going to get right to it, okay? So this is day 5 of the 13 days of Halloween treats, and we are going to be using the Cottage Wreaths bundle for this project, as well as we're also going to be using that background label piece. This black piece here is this die from the Scary Cute bundle. All right, so we're going to be using that one, but mostly we're going to be using the Cottage Wreaths bundle. So you'll be able to find this over on my blog, down at the bottom of the blog post. You'll also be able to find it on my website, danasullivan.stampinup.net. And as well as all of the supplies that I'm using for today, you'll be able to find the list on today's blog post, which will be going live here in just a bit. All right. Okay, so let me bring in what I've got here. First of all, I found these little treats. I think I found these ones at Cracker Barrel. You guys know I love going there to find treats for Halloween. I think I may have also found some of these at Walmart. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, you can find them at various retailers. So I have those, and then I have a couple of pieces of basic black cardstock here. This one measures 2 inches by 11 inches, and this one measures 2 inches by 5.5 inches. Now, I wanted my belly band to go long ways instead of short ways, because I just wanted it to. And the 11 inches isn't quite big enough to go all the way around. In fact, even if I were to use some of the 12 by 12 cardstock, it still wouldn't be enough because there's a gap about 2 inches wide that's hidden behind this label. So that's what I have this piece for, because that's going to go at the front, and then the belly band is going to come around like this and go around the box as you see here. And that way I can hide at least most of it with the label. Okay. And then I have a piece of 1 3/4 by 12 inches of the Celebrate Everything host only or host exclusive designer series paper. This paper pack is absolutely spectacular. There are 48 sheets and it's only $18 in Stampin' Rewards. Totally worth putting in the $150 qualifying order or doing a catalog party or a workshop or a private card class or whatever. Get some of your girlfriends together and put an order in and get this paper pack. It is spectacular. You can use it for all sorts of different things and it's so much fun. So I've been using a lot of it for Halloween, but it has Christmas, it has fall, it even has 4th of July papers. Okay, so it is really cool. All right, and then I have a few other pieces here. I have 2 pieces of 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 basic white cardstock. These are going to be for stamping and die cutting the wreath elements themselves. I have that label that I already die cut from the Scary Cute Dies. I have a strip of cardstock here, just a scrap of basic white cardstock that I will be stamping and die cutting these little berries from. I have a little scrap of cardstock that I'm using here to put behind my sentiment just to give it a little bit of pop. And then I've already pre-die cut that beautiful bow in Parakeet Party cardstock as well, so that I have that ready for us to go. Okay, so let me just set these things aside for a moment. And I'm going to get started by stamping and die cutting my wreaths. Yeah. And my other pieces. Okay, so let's get our stamping done and out of the way first. I'm going to be using Memento Black, Parakeet Party, and Pumpkin Pie for the majority of, actually the entirety of the stamping that I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to take the twig wreath stamp and tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. I'm going to stamp it down right in the middle of this cardstock, or relatively in the middle, you know, whatever. And then I'm going to take the word boo, and I'm going to wait until I die cut that because I want to use up this space, but yeah, let me do that in a minute. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the other piece here, and the Parakeet Party, and the leafy wreath. And again, tap, tap, tap. And in the middle here. All right. And then for the little strip, I'm going to use the pumpkin pie ink and the little berries. And I'm just going to stamp 5 of them so that I can die cut them. So they don't have to be super close together, but not super far either. 3, 4, and 5. Remember, I like to say, I like to use the rules of odds 3, 5, 7, because that kind of helps give some symmetry to your project. So I have 5 of those little berry clusters stamped, and the cottage wreath bundle has 2, thankfully, of the little dies that will die cut that out. So we'll do that here in just a minute. But let me go ahead and get my machine, and I'm going to die cut these pieces right here. And then I'll do just a tiny bit more stamping. So this way I'll be able to use all of my scraps. And you'll see what I mean here in just a moment. Okay, twigs. Now, if you notice on the dies as well as the stamp sheet, there's an arrow so that it will help you line them up. However, I have been playing with my stamps most of the day and have forgotten which direction they went, so I'm going to do my best to line these up so that they're remotely accurate. I don't think that it matters necessarily too much, but let's try to get it relatively close. All right, so if you'll give me just a moment here, bear with me. We'll be able to find at least, I think that's, somewhere in here, I believe, is our relatively close, anyways, to the right spot. So I'm not going to go too long before I give up and just cut it. There we go. All right, so I can see that it's lined up relatively well here. And let me slide that over a little bit and attempt to do the same thing with the other die. So again, the die actually has an arrow marked and the stamp has an arrow marked, but like I said, I've been playing with the stamps most of the day, so I may or may not have turned them and forgotten which direction is the right way, so it's okay. Here we go. This one looks relative, so we'll put that down. Oops, listen now. Don't get so excited, die cuts. There we go. All right. Now then, I'm not going to worry too terribly if it's off a little bit, because honestly, by the time I put all of the little elements on there, it's not going to matter anyways, so it's okay. All right. Let me set this aside for just a moment. Okay, now this is the section that I was talking about that I wanted to stamp on and die cut. So I'm going to use that little section there, and I'll put the rest of this stuff away. All right, now I'm going to bring this back in, and my black on the boo, and also with the spider. Okay, so I can get both of those inside this piece here, and then I just need the spider die. Here we go. Run it back through again here, and we shall have it. All right, let's see. That needs to turn around. T-minus 2-3 weeks before we finally get the really good internet and my screen quits freezing. So thank you all very, very much for your patience and understanding with me being out here in the sticks. Because unfortunately, the only internet service that we have available is either satellite, which is so not any better, or AT&T, which in my area is not very good at all. Now, it could be that I'm the last house on their network, as they have reminded me, but either way, it's not fun. All right, now that I have my greenery, I have the black twig, I have the spider. I'll get to this here in just a moment. I went ahead and pre-stamped and die cut some of those berries so that you didn't have to watch me do that, because that would be boring. And I've got my bow, my label, my scrap piece, which is going to be for Boo. Now this is going to be fussy cut because it's little and quick and simple. So all I'm doing is coming close to the letters, trimming off this extra nonsense. And then I will line it up with this piece right here. And as you can see, it fits pretty well. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to this piece. Here we go. Okay, and then again, I'm going to fussy cut around this as well. So this doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, the point that it's a Halloween themed project, it can be as wonky as you want it to be because, hello, it's Halloween. So don't get too caught up in the perfection of it all. Just cut it, okay? Let me get just a little bit off of that one because that's obviously not even. There we go. Okay, now then, here's what we do. We take our black pieces, and I'm going to bring in my box, and this piece is going to go just like this, okay? So I'm going to set it aside for just a moment, and I'm going to kind of finagle this like so. Okay, let me see, maybe just right there. And I don't care if it's straight, it's not going to matter too much to me because it's going to be covered up. So I'm going to take my fingernails, or you could take your bone folder and just run along the edges of the box here and get that nice crisp edge. I find that in this case, this is a better method because if I were to give you score lines, each box could be just a little bit different, and this way it really just kind of helps give you a good basic size that works perfectly for this particular box. Okay, now then I have my handmade score mark here, so I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue and just in that little section, and I'll put this piece of cardstock right there. So I'm extending my cardstock belly band, okay? And then I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive here and right here. All right. And then as I come along, I want to make sure and line it up nice and even. Not too tight, but snug, okay? So that way it sits good, and we double check to make sure it will slide on and off, and our belly band is done. Now then, we'll take some more liquid glue, and I'm just gonna go over this piece of DSP, and isn't that beautiful? I hate covering up that fall themed paper, but you know, we're thinking Halloween here. So all right, now then, let me flip that over. I'm on the back side now, and I just want to line this up best I can in the middle. Okay, there we go. And then just like we did the other pieces, I'm going to bring it up, give it a little bit of a crease, bring it up, give it a little bit of a crease, and that's going to make my belly band. Okay, so give it a little crease, and then another little crease. There we go. Now you see it's missing just a little section right there in the front, right about 1.5 to 2 inches, unfortunately. But that's okay, because By the time we put this on, look at that. You can't even tell. Isn't that miraculous? I love it. All right. Speaking of that, let me grab my dimensionals here. And yes, I am using my basic black dimensionals. I love using those on my darker cardstocks. And I'm going to put just a few of these dimensionals right here over this space in the middle of the box, okay? Because I already know this is where I want my label to be. Obviously, I'm going to be building up the decorative things right here in the center. And we're just going to do it directly onto the belly band, okay? This way we know that there's not any dimensionals sticking to the box. Instead of putting them here where it might overlap, you'll know that you'll be able to slide the belly band off and on. They can eat their candy. They can use the belly band again for another thing or not. You know, it's okay. All right. Now then, I want to just make sure that my little piece is relatively centered, and right now it's giving me a little bit of a trouble. There we go. All right, now that we've got that, we're going to layer our wreath pieces together. So I'm going to glue this piece directly onto this piece. So I'm going to take some of that liquid glue again. And just right around the middle of it, because I don't want it to overlap the edges. And then you can kind of see a little of how this thing will go, that it kind of, I don't want to say that it lines up precisely, it doesn't at all, but that you get more of the viewing of each of the elements there. So I'm just going to stick that on. And then we're going to put all of these other things on dimensionals. So let me grab my little black dimensionals here. All right. And I believe I can kind of situate those so that it doesn't show. Okay. There we go. I'm going to throw it around too while I'm at it. Have you been watching the 13 days of Halloween treats so far? We're up to day 5 today, but which one is your favorite? I'd love for you to leave a comment down below and let me know which one your favorite is. All right, we're going to put a dimensional on the back of the spider. We'll put another dimensional in the center of our sentiment piece and also in the center of our bow. So let me grab one of these end pieces here. There we go. All right, give them a nice little press just to make sure that the backing's stuck down. All right, now then. One. This makes it so easy to decorate this this wreath. You can just stick them on here. There we go. 3, 4, and 5. All right, there we go. Now then, I'll put my bow right here and my sentiment piece right here, and then my spooder. I love saying that. Sounds so silly, but it's funny too. All right, there we go, spooder. You're good. All right, now then, we're going to put a few of the bigger dimensionals on the back side of our wreath, and it's going to go directly onto our label piece. So we're going to have quite a bit of dimension going on here, but it's fine because this is a box and you're either going to give it away personally or you're going to put it in a box to send it. Either way, it doesn't matter how many layers of dimension there are, so that works out handy for us. Okay. There we go. So cute. I love it. All right, now let's get a few, oh, not cardstock. Let's get a few of these rhinestone basic jewels on here. Okay. Put one over here. I'll put one, oops. I'll put one up here. And then one down here. Maybe not quite that far. Do you ever play with your elements? There we go, that'll work. Ever play with those little elements trying to find just the exact right beautiful spot for them to go? Oh, all right, there we go. Project number 5, day 5 of the 13 days of Halloween treats in the books. Let me bring in the other days for a quick recap for you. There's day 5, day 4, day 3, 2, and 1. Absolutely love it. I'm having so much fun with these. I hope that you guys are too. Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know which one of these is your favorite, because you know, it's so fun to see how you guys feel about the projects and which ones you like best, which ones you don't like as much. And I can't wait to show you guys what else I have in store for you. We still have quite a few more days left to go. So I'm excited to get those to you. And of course, you'll want to come back here again tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for day 6 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. And as I mentioned, you can find the supply list, the measurements, and everything on my blog at thestampinchick.com. It will go live here in just a little bit. And if you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me or leave a comment below. I like to check the comments on my videos, and I love responding and interacting with you. So please feel free to comment. All right, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. I hope that you have enjoyed all of the projects thus far, and that you will continue to tune in each weekday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the next day of the 13 days of Halloween treats. Until next time, my friends, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye for now.